Over here to my right is the apartment complex where police officers have really been concentrated this past hour and a half. This is Building B. They've been talking to a lot of people who live here, going in and out of some apartments. Homeowners are calling for safety improvements after this accident, saying it's one of many. Last week, they say another car knocked down this fence. Kingsport City Schools have had this shoulder harness seatbelt system since 2010. But if other school districts want to buckle up, it's not gonna come cheap. In fact, a new NTSB report shows very few tires on U.S. roads are registered, and that could be potentially dangerous for you. You can almost feel the worry in the air, and rightfully so, since the rail yard essentially built Irwin, and almost everyone has a connection to it. But local officials are already working to help the county recover from the loss.
Devastated.
Almost everyone in Unicoi County feels the same way about CSX reducing operations at the Irwin terminal. Elsie Lonen's family took a direct hit.
My husband's been laid off from the CSX Railroad yard in Irwin.
10 years he's worked for CSX while building a life with Elsie.
We're in the process of building a house, about 4 weeks from moving in.
Now it's all up in the air.
Now we might be turning around and selling it as fast as I guess we get it built. I don't know.
Meanwhile, on the steps of the Unicoi County Courthouse,
this is an epic blow.
An impromptu meeting between town and county officials on what's next.
Beginning today, we've already started trying to recruit some businesses.
Irwin Mayor Doris Hensley says the only problem is where to put them. But the Irwin terminal has plenty of space, and Unicoi County Mayor Greg Lynch is already working that angle.
In fact, I had asked them to please send their real estate people in, and we'll talk about any kind of acquisition we can get on any of the property.
But the main priority right now is getting the rail yard workers back to work.
Well, I think the number one thing we need to do is make sure that they have every resource available to them.
For now, Elsie's family is waiting it out.
Just gotta hope for the best.
The Joint Economic Development Board of Unicoi County will be talking more about what's next tomorrow at its quarterly meeting. They also plan to talk with CSX officials to get a better understanding of what benefits are available to furloughed workers.
I thought I dreamed of a car crashing, and well, let's just say it was reality.
A reality this 13-year-old never expected. Brianna Lovell was startled awake this afternoon when a driver lost control and slammed into her home.
I noticed when I opened my door and I saw that everything was caved in.
Stanley Lovell has lived in this home for 3 years and says accidents on this road are becoming too common.
This is the third one that I've seen since I lived here.
Homeowners are calling for safety improvements after this accident, saying it's one of many. Last week, they say another car knocked down this fence.
I'd like to see a guardrail put up.
911 records show in the last year about 6 accidents have happened within a quarter-mile stretch of this part of Greenwood Drive. Are you concerned about that stretch of Greenwood Drive?
Yes, I'm concerned about that stretch and many other.
Washington County Highway Superintendent John Deacon says this stretch of road does not meet the federal requirements to install a guardrail, but the state recently put in several traffic signs to improve safety.
What we did at this certain location was we did signage and stripes.
Deacon says his department will take a second look to see what else can be done, but says some responsibility falls on drivers. For now,
I feel grateful that I was not hurt.
the Lovells are looking forward. Sydney Cameron, News Channel 11 in your corner.
Well, it's home to me.
For more than 20 years, Rick Wagner and his family have called the Suncrest Drive area of Gray home. So when Johnson City annexed about 300 acres of land 3 years ago, including his property, he wasn't happy.
The only thing that really upset us was the fact that we didn't have a choice about it.
With a wife and kid in college, they now have to pay double the taxes, something they were not anticipating when they moved here.
I just don't feel like we have a big advantage of being in the city. We've got fire department close by, even though, like I say, I'm glad that one's there. And we've got trash just a half a mile up the road.
Just down the street, Linda Feathers echoes Rick's feelings, saying the city won't pick up her recycling because she lives out too far.
If I'm in the city limits and I pay city taxes, then I think we should be allowed the same privileges as anybody else that live in the city limits.
We would definitely opt out if we could.
Now, they might get their chance to leave the city after folks approached Representative Micah Van Huss about it.
It's been up in the high 90% of folks who do want to be de-annexed from Johnson City.
He went to the Johnson City Commission, who is now looking into it.
And anytime you take something, undertake something for the first time, you want to make sure you're very thorough.
So they're talking to everybody who would be affected, and before anything is done, the city and county would have to talk too. Rick is happy the conversation is happening.
I think that's given the residents, the property owners, that option that we should have had to start with.
No timeline has been given on when a decision will be made. Sydney Cameron, News Channel 11 in your corner.